As always, a great night, Canadian Forces night here at Scotiabank Place, and our chance to, in person, thank the men and women of the Canadian military and their families for all their sacrifices and everything they do for us around the world in our name. We can't appreciate you enough. And there'll be more throughout the evening, and with Remembrance Day coming up, it is a great time to remember why we were all here, how we got here, and the life we enjoy because of people just like these.
Couldn't agree with you more, Dean. Well said.
Well, a surprise tonight. It is not Ryan Miller. It is Jonas Enroth. Got the 2-1 win last night against Calgary, facing 30 shots in that game. Has played one game against Ottawa. That was March 13th last year, a 6-4 win. This is just his 18th NHL game. At the other end, Craig Anderson suffered the 1-goal loss last night against Montreal. Got banged around pretty good in that game. Says he's okay. He's played Buffalo 5 times. He's 2-2. He is 2-5 in his last 7. Tonight's officiating crew, Stephen Walcom. Worked last night's Ottawa-Montreal game. He's working with Rob Martel. His first regular season game was in '96 between the Islanders and the Senators. On the lines, David Breesbaugh, who also worked in the building last night, and Mark Shuchik, who's been in the league since '03. A couple of teams tonight just doing okay. Ottawa's won 6 of their last 10. Buffalo 5 of their last 10. Not great, not bad. Both want to get better to great. Phillips around the boards off the face-off, back to the line. Puck is held in by Regeer. Throws the puck in behind the net. Pominville tries to reverse the puck. On the boards, Buffalo keeps it inside the Ottawa zone, but there's a giveaway as Vanek throws it out to the neutral zone, and Zach Smith drives the puck down inside the Buffalo end. Enroth out of the net, runs it around the glass. It gets by Gonchar all the way back down to the Senators' end, and they will call this icing.
Well, a big story concerning the Buffalo Sabres is obviously Ryan Miller was scheduled to start in this game tonight, but because of Enroth's performance last night against the Calgary Flames, where the Buffalo Sabres really dominated the game, but Enroth had to be very sharp late in the game as he stopped 29 shots in a 2-1 victory against the Calgary Flames.
Ryan Miller is not having a great run right now. That may play into it as well. He has lost 4 straight games. He has lost 4 straight only 3 times in his career, 02, 06, and 08, and he has never lost 5 straight. Here's Philip Kuba back in his own zone to pick it up. Lead pass out to center. McCulloch carries it down to the wing, tries to cut back on Sekera. Up to the corner. Here's Sekera. Runs it along the boards, and the puck is kicked ahead by Ville Leno. Now Derek Roy trying to handle it. He finds Tyler Myers. Myers across to Sekera, out to center. Here's Roy, throws it to the wing. Leno already heading off on a change. Ottawa turns it over. DaCosta to the line with Butler and Foligno. Foligno, his shot. Enroth with a big pad save. Sabres trying to get out of their own zone. Stafford can't get through the neutral zone, and DaCosta just flips the puck back down inside the Buffalo end. Finally, the puck is cleared out. Now through the middle. Here's Roy waiting for it. Got Stafford with him. Cowan comes across and takes Roy out of the play, and the puck goes up and out of play.
Just to finish the Ryan Miller story, yes, he's been struggling a lot of late, but he was very vocal after he was pulled earlier in the week against the Philadelphia Flyers, where he said, I don't know, guys, when talking to reporters, are you going to start criticizing my practices now? I'm just trying to reset and do my thing. And, you know, that's not a good idea for a goalie. I mean, he just needs to let it go. Reset, yes, but not worry about the reporters so much and worry more about stopping pucks. And perhaps as great a goalie as Ryan Miller is, and I think he's a terrific goalie, you know, maybe that's one of the reasons why. Enroth, you're in again.
Well, 2 years ago, Ryan Miller was the best goalie in the National Hockey League. And he is struggling right now, but
he's a good goalie.
The talent didn't just go away.
No. He's a terrific goalie, and he had a great start as well, as we saw by the graphic to start the season, but the whole team in general has tailed off a little bit. But last night against the Calgary Flames, the Buffalo Sabres were outstanding. They fired 45 shots as well against the Calgary goalie, Carlson.
In 2011, the calendar year 2000, not the hockey calendar, the real calendar that everybody runs by, Enroth has not lost a regular time game. He is 10-0-1 in 2011. Condra throws the puck down inside the Buffalo end. And back up ice. Graniani can't find a way up ice, so he drops it off, and he'll try another method. Up his shuttle to the corner. Winchester comes back as he tries to get Boyes off the puck. Boyes feeds the point through traffic. Long shot knocked down in front. Puck is cleared to the line, but not out. Puck is held in there. Regeer back to the corner again. Running back with it quickly. Brad Boyce trying to jam it back in front again. Loose puck cleared to the corner by Lee. Steers the puck ahead, and Ottawa gets out with it. Here's Dogovins, dumps it down inside the Buffalo end. Dogovins has to take the wide pass to get to the puck as he gets linked up with Leopold. Back out to center now. Along the boards, puck is dumped in. Carlson kicks it back as McCormick was all over him. Now Dogovins steers it out to center. Puck just slipped off the stick of Jesse Winchester. Now again, former Flame Regeer out to center. The bounce pass didn't connect with McCormick. Now Erik Karlsson, long lead pass. Here's Zach Smith. Couldn't take it cleanly, and Enroth steers it back to the corner. Enroth and Erik Karlsson actually are very good friends. We'll see if there's any conversation between the two tonight. Enroth hopes not, because if he has a conversation, that means that Karlsson's way down in front of his net. Here's Spezza now. Takes it off the boards. Loses the puck. Bad angle shot, and Anderson makes the save very quickly off a snapshot from Tyler Myers.
Tyler Myers will do that. He comes in hard offensively at times. And Brian Lee in the lineup tonight. Roomblad, if you've just joined us, not in the lineup, is Coach McLean giving him a little bit of a rest as his schedule, of course, in Europe. He's not used to this long NHL schedule. And Brian Lee's a very capable defenseman, and you just saw a pretty good play by him there in that last one.
Derek Roy out to take the face-off against Spezza. Sabres win the draw back in front. Redirected shot, and a nice save by Anderson as that puck was redirected in front of the net by Matt Ellis. Out to the corner it goes. Ehrhoff just mails it back out to center. Pollock in his zone to Kuba. Kuba throws it to the wing for Karlsson. Takes it in the skate, but gets it back out to center. Derek Roy throws it through the middle. That's knocked down by Colin Greening. Spezza gives it away, and now Ehrhoff. The big free agent signing of the Sabres. $40 million over 10 years. Here's Drew Stafford. His shot right on Anderson to save. Big rebound. Derek Roy.
He just got one in the chops, but I think it was a follow-through, and that's why no penalty on it. We'll see.
Kuba sends the puck ahead. Karlsson snaps it to center for Foligno. Foligno trying to get in around Regeer. Regeer turns with it. With the front-loaded nature of Ehrhoff's contract, this year he gets $10 million. Back to the point. Leopold shot knocked down on the way to the net. 10 million, 8, 4, 4, 4, 4, 3, 1, 1, 1.
I'll take the one.
Yeah.
How about 10?
Back to the corner. Puck in behind the Buffalo goal. And they break back out with it. Gerby slides it back through the middle. Picked off though by Jared Cowan on his way back to his own end. Here's DaCosta. Can't get by Gerby as Gerby puts him into the boards. Here's DaCosta again. Flips the puck inside the Buffalo zone. Sekera runs it around his own net. Here's Filatov in trying to work away from Myers. Knocked away from him by Sekera. Now the Sabres a chance to get it out again. Puck is knocked down. Here's Filatov, his shot. And that one deflects off the stick of Enroth up into the mesh. Play continues though. Here's Filatov back in front for Winchester. Gonchar with a shot. That's knocked down. Winchester, he gets a shot and misses. Phillips can't get there to hold it in. And the Sabres get a reprieve. Condra to the line. Wines fires, and that one gloved down by Enroth. He holds on.
Well, the Senators pressing pretty well at the moment off the counterattack on the rush. And a turnover here as Winchester knocks it down. Filatov with a tricky shot that almost fools Enroth. And at the other end, Derek Roy gets one right in the chops there, and that is not a follow-through. That's a high stick, and that's a missed call. And as he's checking his chicklets out right now to make sure they're all in place.
Not a good run right now for Derek Roy. He has just 1 point in his last 7 games. One area of his game, though, that is not deficient is his face-off circle action. He is almost at 58.5% on the season, which makes him almost a top 5 player. Sixth best face-off man in the league.
He's been struggling, and of course he was hurt all last year for the most part. And I asked him, he is still catching up, and he said, I felt pretty good in camp, but then I had a shoulder issue and a hamstring issue that set me back also. He's a great player that just isn't quite on his game yet this year.
Spets in the face-off circle. Off the draw, he wins it. Here's Brian Lee. Throws it towards the net. Glove down by Enroth, and he holds on. And for Jason Spezza, another face-off win. Scoreless in period 1 here on Hockey Night in Canada.
Congratulations to the city of Ottawa, the Ottawa Senators organization, and everyone involved with Rogers Health and the telethon. And there's some terrific pictures of my dear friend Roger Nilsson, who was like a father to me growing up and taught me a lot of what I know today. And it's sure even hard for me to see those pictures. They raised $116,425. There's a look at Chris Neal, the honorary chairman, along with his lovely wife Kate. And what a terrific facility it is, and what a wonderful cause, and good on the Ottawa city to once again support it in a huge way.
Well, the good news is that my friend Roger, and you knew him for a far greater amount of time than I did. The one thing that I'm very thankful for is that he didn't teach you how to dress.
His ties were legendary, weren't they?
Unbelievable.
He used to get them, to be honest with you, he used to get them from fellows on the street in New York City often. Yep.
At one time, he went to one of those shops that sell them on the street, and the guy had like a bag, just like a clear see-through garbage bag kind of thing. And Roger said, how many ties in there? He said, 100. Pominville winds and fires his glove down, and he said, I'll take them all for $100. So he bought 100 ties, so it was a buck a tie, and he bought 100 of them, and they were all awful.
I have one of them framed in my office.
I have one too. They were awful.
Roger really influenced Lindy Ruff. Lindy will tell you that as a coach, and Mark Reed's a former Peterborough Pete as well. So all kinds of Roger connections, like there always is
every game
in a building.
Every game there's a Roger connection to somebody, something. Had an unbelievable impact on this game and on everybody he had anything to do with.
And I must say, I was watching the telethon last night, and all I could think about is Roger to have a smile on his face.
Back in front, here's a chance, knocked down. Phillips side of the net as he lays his body down for that one. Myers jumps in from the point to keep it alive, but Phillips gets back up again. Feeds the puck ahead. Gonchar out to center. Providence tips the puck into the Buffalo zone. Zach Smith comes across ice, tries to get at it, but Luke Adams kind of gets in his way. What a great early start for Luke Adams, the 21-year-old, having a great start to the season. 11 points in 12 games for him. Here's Vanek now, pulls up inside the line, tries to fire it through to a pinching Tyler Myers. Puck goes off a stick up into the mesh, and we will get a face-off.
Chris Phillips has been a very efficient defenseman for the Ottawa Senators after signing a 3-year deal last year, and he often goes unnoticed, but little plays like this, a beautiful slide to break down a 2-on-1 low that was a potential goal on that play, and a nice play defensively for Chris Phillips.
Off the draw, puck is thrown back to the corner once again by Graniani. Turning with it, there's a shot, doesn't get through as Matt Ellis has tried to get it through the crowd. Back in front again, another shot from Ellis, and that one just missed. Round the boards back to the point, and Ehrhoff unable to hold it in. Ehrhoff fires it all the way back down ice. Trying to hit Trop at the line. Trop tied up on the way in by Jared Cowan. Trop sends it back to the point. Playing just his second NHL game. And behind the net, here's Ellis again. Ellis trying to work himself around DaCosta. DaCosta battles to get position, flips the puck ahead. Now he gets some help from Cowan. And Foligno breaks it out. Right now on the ice, 24-year-old Nick Foligno and 24-year-old Brian Lee are the oldest guys on the ice. Well, now Gonchar's come over the boards.
He's really old.
Well, comparatively, he is at 37. When you've got 5 guys on the ice and the 2 oldest guys are 24, that'll tell you how young your team is.
Sergei Gonchar has been an excellent player this year after having a difficult season last year. He's got 8 points in his last 8 games. He's valuable on that very potent Ottawa Senator power play, but I've noticed his leadership skills this year have come to the forefront. They've always been there, but when you play better, you can lead better, and he has played much better this year.
Probably, at least on the back end, the 2 biggest changes from last year have been the play of both Gonchar and Kuba. Both struggled last season, and both have been very good this season. Kuba had a bit of a rough start, but really picked things up and has already as many goals as he had all of last year, with 2 so far, and both of them coming on the power play. Off the boards. Back to the point. Puck is held in there by Regier. Another chance to clear it. Winchester couldn't get it out this time. Condor just pops it up back down to the Buffalo end. Here's Jordan Leopold with it now. And those two, Leopold and Regier, actually asked to play with each other. Because obviously during their time in Calgary they played quite a bit together. And both got a bit of a comfort level out of that. Pass too far for Spezza. Turns it over though, gets the pass. Back inside the line from Colin Greening. Spezza fires his shot looking for the bounce. Colin Greening on the other side. Back to the point. Cowan fires it to the net, knocked down in front. Derek Roy got a stick on that. Now Myers turns. Can't get away though from Colin Greening. Puck to the corner. Here's McCullough. Tries to work it back. Roy gets in the middle of it. A quick cutback opens up some space for him. And now the Sabres get it out. Or do they? Sekera bobbles the puck. They'll try this all over again. Lead pass to center. It's tipped in, and the Sabres get the change they need. Lone forechecker, Ville Leno, heels away from Jared Cowan as he gets the puck ahead to Dogovich. Dogovich dumps it in, goes to chase it. Pominville gets in there. Will gives Ehrhoff a shove. Puck comes out. And now the Sabres break it out 4-on-3. Wide side, puck is dumped down inside the zone by Graniani. Picked up by Kuba. Head to Carlson. Carlson now. Ends off two. Tries to bounce it ahead to Neal. That gets intercepted. Kuba jumps in. Feeds the puck ahead. Smith to the line. Gets it through. Dogovich with a shot that misses high.
Two real good exits by Kuba there coming out of the zone.
Down to the line. Sabres back inside the zone. Kuba ties up his man. Pominville had nowhere to go as Neal comes back to pick up the puck. Head to center. Dogovich now. Just bound up in the neutral zone. Puck comes free, and here's Philip Kuba once again. Go! Carlson down to the line, has it popped off his stick right at the line by Corey Trapp, and he holds on. Still waiting for the first goal of this game here on Hockey Night in Canada. Time now for this Hockey Night Bio, brought to you by Subway Restaurants.
Tonight we feature Colin Greening, and he's not only a good hockey player, but a very intelligent person. Man, he should have been a goalie. A 3.98 grade average at Cornell, a degree in economics. And of course, his father was a documentary writer and producer for the CBC back in St. John's.
I asked him early on, Greg, I said, well, 3.98. I said, how did you mess it up and not get a perfect 4.0? And he said, actually, in his second year, he got a B on an English paper, which really troubled him because, of course, his father is a great writer and very much a wordsmith. And he said, I didn't hear the end of that for a while.
And he's turning out to be a solid power forward on this big line for the Ottawa Senators.
Is he strong? He is unbelievably strong. And last year in the skills competition, broke Antoine Vermette's team record for speed. So he's also got great speed and was second in the hardest shot. He could shoot 100 miles an hour. So all the pieces of the package are there. And now as a young player, he's just got to spend some time in the league and put all the pieces together. Acosta back to the point. Gonchar turns, winds, fires. It bounces off the goaltender, off Foligno, off the post. Back across again. Phillips sends it in, and Enroth this time swallows it up and holds on.
Enroth just 5'10", but he's positionally sound. And in a day and age where goalies are huge, he kind of breaks the mold, and I love it. Because he's a battler, he's positionally good. He gets a break there as the puck hits Foligno and goes right over the net as he's peeking through the traffic. But as you mentioned, Dean, his National Hockey League regular season record is impressive.
10-0-1 in 2011, the calendar year. Overall in his career, 11-3-3.
Who says smaller goalies can't play in the NHL in today's game?
He is the smallest Swedish goalie in the league. Here's Filatov trying to get away from Sekera. Can't do it. Bouncing puck. It's skipping everywhere to the corner. Winchester can't get a hold of it. Boys can't get it out. Going back to the line by Cowan. Quickly turns it away to Gerby. Nathan Gerby with a shot. And a blocker save from Anderson. Puck steered to the corner. Here's Cowan. Snaps it around the boards. Puck is chopped back to the line. Filatov can't get it out. Here's Gerby. Tipped away from him by Cowan. Nathan Gerby 5'5". Count off the board, back to the line and out. Myers couldn't hold it in. The two linesmen looking at each other. Should it be? Shouldn't it be? And it should not be icing, and it isn't. Here's Sekera with it now. 2 points in his last 2 games. Out of center. Derek Roy to the line, can't get in cleanly. McCulloch ties up his man as he spins Drew Stafford around. Stafford, another one of the guys in this Buffalo team, who's in a mini slump right now with 1 point in his last 7 games.
Had a big blast last night on a goal where he just wired it.
That was the only point he has in 7 is that 1 goal. The Sabres came up with a 2-1 win against Calgary. Sabres now they break it out. Stafford turns back and actually keeps it in his own zone, and finally tired of it all. She's bounced off the boards. Back out to center by Regeer, and a penalty call is on the way here against Philip Kuba. First power play of the game is on the way when we return to Scotiabank Place here on Hockey Night in Canada from the nation's capital.
Even Walkham worked the game last night. They missed a call closing the hand of the puck on Condra, but they don't miss this one. As Kuba thinks, well, it worked last night, maybe I'll try it tonight. Not so fast.
So the first power play of the game goes to the Buffalo Sabres. They come in with the 14th ranked power play in the NHL. 0 for 3 last night in the power play. And just 3 for 18 in their last 5 games.
Buffalo Sabres on the power play really like to have one man back only. And Tyler Myers, who's on at the moment, will go right to the front of the net as a defenseman. The power play worked well for the Sabres last night, but it does give up the opportunity to perhaps give up shorthanded goals. They've given up 2 on the year so far.
Inside the zone, here's Derek Roy back on the point. Roy slides the line with Vanek in front. Wines fires, up blocked by Zach Smith. Zach Smith had a shorty last night. Here he goes looking for another. Cuts in. He's taken down. Penalty call is on the way. And that'll do it for the power play. Derek Roy is complaining that he got puck first, but it doesn't matter. Stephen Walker makes the call. We'll have some 4-on-4.
Like I said, they have one guy back. Tyler Myers takes off, and he goes to the half boards. And the one guy back is now a forward. The Senators read on this. I'm sure they were watching tape as well. It draws a penalty. Now we got a 4-on-4 situation.
When you look at this replay, you can see that Derek Roy does get puck, but after he's already taken the skates out on Zach Smith, who got a shorthanded goal last night for Ottawa against Montreal, the only goal for Ottawa in that game. So 4-on-4. And right off the draw, Enroth will cover up. Statistically, Buffalo should have the advantage at even strength. 5-on-5, 4-on-4, 3-on-3. Buffalo's a +5 this year. Ottawa's a -10. So this should be to Buffalo's advantage. Off the draw. Here's Gonchar. Tries to tap the puck to the corner. Sekera runs it back of his own net. Gets the puck around to Ehrhoff. Now Sekera carries it to center. Gets around Winchester, down to the line. Dogovins trails him. Carlson goes at him. For this 4-on-4, McLean has both Gonchar and Carlson out there. Puck just drifts by. Because Gonchar likes to play the right side, we've actually got the right-handed defenseman playing left and the left-handed defenseman playing right.
And just to back up, our fellows in the truck do a great job of digging this up. But last night, Condra got away with one. Kuba didn't tonight, as I mentioned. Here's last night's. Check this out. And Walkham was the official, missed it. He probably got heckboard and made sure they didn't miss one tonight on the Kuba play where he grabbed onto it. That's funny. Two and two nights, and thanks to our great truck for digging that out for us. Paul Griss and crew.
That's how Condra played baseball as a youth. That was my slider.
Larney, I'm told, down there did that for us.
Lauren Fleeler.
There you go. Sharp stuff, guys.
Sabres break it out. Through the middle they come. Here's Stafford down to the line. Drew Stafford cuts, slides, tries to slide one through. Puck is centered again as Luke Adams somehow got it back to the front of the net, but intercepted, and Ottawa now out of their own zone. Here comes Phillips. In full flight to McCulloch. McCulloch tries to bust through. Backhander scores! Milan McCulloch!
Chris Phillips starts to play with a good first pass. What does that do? Creates speed for McCulloch. This is highlight reel stuff, baby. One-on-one, right through everybody, and then 5-hole on Enroth. What a goal. 240-plus pounds, going right through the youngster Tyler Myers. Throws it through that big frame and then makes no mistake on Enroth, and that is one beautiful goal.
First goal in 3 games for him. Tied for 3rd in the league in goals with 8 coming into the game, and he's moving up. Foligno down inside the line, trying to get around Leopold. Couldn't do it. Pominville picks it up. One of the things the Senators have tried desperately to do is get a lead and score in the first period. They have outscored badly in first periods so far this year.
18-7 in first periods for tonight.
Carlson to the line. Slides it through, trying to get it to Neal. Offside the call, so Sabres get a free walk out of their own end. Ahead to Vanek. Couldn't take it cleanly. Drops it back for Carlson, and Carlson back through the middle, and here comes McCulloch again. Slides this one off to Spezza. Spezza tried to draw the puck around Myers. Couldn't do it. Ottawa on a brief power play here with just a few seconds to go, and the Derek Roy penalty. He is back out now. Now we're back to 5-on-5.
Pollock likes home cooking. That's 5 goals now in 9 games at home.
Spezza with a steal, tried to slide in around Sekera, and it didn't work. Now Gerby back out to center. Greg Anderson gets his first assist of the year. Phillips and Anderson get the assists on the McCulloch goal to open up this game. Phillips again chips it off the boards. Down to the line. Zach Smith trying to stay on top of Graniani. Finally the Sabres move it out. Rink wide. Here's Gerby cutting in. Bobbles the puck. Phillips just puts him down. Now Bobby Butler lead pass right on the tape at center for Dogovins. Back to the line for Smith. This whole line all played last year in Binghamton in the Calder Cup run. Dogovins loses the puck. And everybody retracts. Brian Lee now. Lee snaps the puck ahead, and this time Condra tips it down inside the zone. Off the boards, Regier sends the puck ahead. It pops back out to center. Sabres to the Ottawa line and in. McCormick can't get anywhere with it. Tipped away back out to center. Cody McCormick now has to take the big loop and come back to the line. The dump in by Leopold hits the skate and he's forced to come back to his own end. Now they get back to center. To the line and in. Weak low shot. McCormick reaching to try and hold it in. Stolen away. Foligno back down to the Buffalo line. Couldn't get through. Foligno, of course, a Buffalo native, born in Buffalo when his father Mike was playing there. McCormick with a shot. Misses high with it. The other tie-in is that Foligno's younger brother, a draft pick of the Buffalo Sabres. Here's Foligno. Out to center. Off the skate of Condra, down inside the zone. And now back comes Big Myers. Tyler Myers flips the puck inside the zone. Pominville can't get any kind of a break off it. Cleared ahead. Here's Spezza at center. With McCulloch. McCulloch has to wait. Spezza leads it in, drops it. There's a shot right on as Carlson puts one into the chest of his good friend, Jonas Enroth. Well, tomorrow night, Amy is inspired when she works with a professional horse trainer. Don't miss an all-new episode of Heartland tomorrow night at 7 on CBC.
People don't realize how big McCulloch is. And now that he's healthy, he's really playing well for the Senators. And he's turned into a power forward on this line with Spezza on the one side and Greening on the other.
It's cleared all the way down ice for an icing call, so a face-off again back in the Buffalo end with only 46 seconds to go in the period. Ryan McCulloch, I think probably, Greg, the biggest difference for him this year is the fact that he got into camp healthy. Didn't spend the summer training, rehabbing, or having surgery.
And he was able to train properly also. What a difference, huh?
Huge difference. And like you said, he's now close to 230 pounds, and when he puts that shoulder down,
yeah, he's a load. With the speed to go with it, powerful legs, look out.
Derek Roy flips the puck to the corner. Phillips to chase it. Off the board, they bounce the puck ahead. Gonchar now goes back to Phillips. His lead pass out the center. Dogovich waits, then delivers it to Neal. Neal sends a shot in looking for a rebound. Bounces it back to the net. Myers clears it around the boards. Back to the net. Sakara just dumps it back, and they will try and be cautious with the remaining seconds. And that will do it for period one. The Senators have the lead going into the locker room after 20 minutes of play. As always, coming up in intermission number one, Ron and Don are in the coach's corner here on Hockey Night in Canada. The Senators with a 1-0 lead of Milan McCulloch's 9th goal of this NHL season.
Well, the first period, 1 goal only, and a beautiful rush by Milan McCulloch as he goes right around Myers and then makes no mistake on the finish. Nice first pass by Chris Phillips. The defense are backing in for the Sabres. They get caught in no man's land, and that power forward McCulloch, you say he's 230. I've heard he's been even close to 240 sometimes.
Wow.
I don't know if that's a little bit much, but I'll tell you what, he's a big man with speed. That's hard to defend against.
As we open up period number 2. Sabres dump the puck down inside the Ottawa zone. Along the boards. Greening trying to get out of it. Here's Phillips, comes out with it though. Gonchar gets some pressure. Sends the puck along the boards. Sabres can't make a clean pass. Just dump it around the boards. Greening again. Gonchar this time has some space. Bouncing it off the boards back out to center and down to the Buffalo end. Here's Leopold. Knocked off his stick by Spezza. Spezza, side of the net as Greening had a great chance and hit the side of the net, trying to catch Enroth going the wrong way. Here's Chris Neal. Drops it back. Colin Greening. Greening fends off Leopold. Puts the puck back to the corner. Now Regier. Snaps the puck ahead, back out to center. Philip Kuba with it now. Slides it across, and Carlson jumps through the middle of the ice. Carlson ranges low with it. Breaks on. Sends a shot through as he tries to deflect it. Enroth holds on.
And the whistle went, yeah, Neil's saying, hey, the puck's in the net. But the whistle went before, and a quick whistle here as Enroth had a little bit of trouble, and he was surprised from this Carlson shot from a bad angle on his buddy. And you can see here Neil pushes the puck in the net, but it's a little bit late. Jason Spezza on a good forecheck here. He strips the puck off Leopold and finds Greening coming in, and he just misses the short side. High, and that's in.
Here's Dogovich with it.
Easy for me to say up here.
Perfect game every time from up here.
No kid.
Zach Smith with the shot, this time gloved down by Enroth. Only goal of this game, McCulloch from Phillips and Anderson. Anderson now on pace for a 5-point season.
You know, and I'm going to make that point about up here because the reporters talk a lot about, you know, the big hits and the concussion situation and taking the hitting out. Heard Don Cherry talk a little bit about that. Go down to ice level just once and see how quick it is. And I think a lot of people would be shocked how quick these guys are in today's game. It looks a lot slower up here, believe me.
Well, it's not just the quick, Greg. It's the size of some of these players and how massive they are and how the big guys can skate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sabres trying to get something going. Puck is knocked down by Kuba, and here comes McCulloch. Got Greening with him. Greening sends it in. McCulloch with a redirect, and Roth the save. Greening finds McCulloch again. He feeds the point. Kuba settles it, fires it through for a tip. It's knocked down and cleared back to the corner. Back out to center. Stafford along the boards, curls to get away from Kuba. Now Derek Roy gives it back to Stafford. Couldn't get through the crowd. Greening knocks it down, and Greening now out to center. Trying to get it to Spezza. Finds Spezza, but he's twisted around. Back through the middle. His pass picked off. And back come the Sabres. Pominville, bad angle. Shoots it anyway. Pad save and a big rebound. Greniani now slides it through. Backhanded. That's tipped and cleared to the corner by Carlson. That whole play started by Luke Adams.
A little sloppy here at the moment for the Senators in the neutral zone, and it's giving Buffalo a little bit more life and getting some chances because of it.
Here's Pominville again. Wines fires. That's deflected away by Anderson to the boards. Vanek holds it in before he's dropped by Neal. Back to the point. Graniani. Back through the middle. There's a shot right on, and Anderson makes the save as Ehrhoff just drove it to the net, and now discussions begin as Adam is grabbed onto Karlsson, and Neal is not going to allow that to go on very much longer as Neal is being separated by the linesman.
This all started from a turnover in the neutral zone a couple of times that kept the Senators hemmed up in their own zone with a good chance to score on Anderson, and then afterwards a little extracurricular activity. And here's the end result of this giveaway, and Neal takes his man out. A little D to D, Enroth back with the puck, and he'll fire it through and right on the mark. And a real nice job of boxing out Adam is in fact Karlsson, and he didn't take too kindly to it. You know, I heard Don Cherry talk about that hit on Daniel Alfredsson, saying, you know, there are a lot of players are doing it now. I agree with him. I thought it was an excellent point, and I'm one that thought that that should have been a suspension. And I know it's a difficult job for Brendan Shanahan, and it's never easy, but boy, oh boy, that one was one that looked like a suspension to me. To his credit, Brendan came out, explained himself, and that's all you can ask from the discipline man, the new sheriff.
Well, you can say a couple of things. One of them is there's not a lot of agreement with Brendan Shanahan on that one around the league, not just in Ottawa, but also I like the fact that he comes out and says it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Says why, and you can agree with him or not. McCormick can't get a shot to go.
Like a referee, you know, you never minded a ref coming to you after he made a call to explain himself. And good refs did that. If he had to, not every time, but if he had to in a close call or a call that was confusing.
McCormick, bad angle, takes a shot and again misses high. Back to the point it comes. Holding it in. Graniani sends it around the boards on the other side. Ehrhoff gets hooked up. On the boards, puck is flipped back out by DaCosta. Here's Foligno trying to jump on it. Got Butler with him. Foligno carries it low. Graniani reaches in on him. Foligno round the boards. Butler back of the net. Now Graniani looking for a way to get out. Gets the puck ahead to Ellis. Ellis down the wing, forgets the puck, finds it again, sweeps it down inside the zone. Cowan tips it back. Here's Jared Cowan. Pass at center, bounced off both players and back to the Ottawa line.
Ottawa's done a good job in this game of just shutting down the Sabres, and Buffalo look like they've been skating in mud so far in this game.
The one thing you have to plan on, sometimes it doesn't happen, but most times it does. Buffalo-Ottawa games, no matter where they sit in the standings, just always seem to be tight games. Over the last 2 years, Greg, 11 of the last 12 games between these two teams have been decided by 2 goals or less. And if you go back further, 31 of the last 39 games.
You go back 20 years almost, it seems to me anyway.
Been decided by 2 or less. Back out front, here's Roy. Puck comes up, hits Karlsson in the face. He's stunned, turns and slaps the puck out. Now he heads back to the bench for repairs as that puck popped up and hit him in the face.
Might have hit him in the visor as the puck went right up his stick and right into his face.
Sabres back into the zone, centering pass. Doesn't find a stick. It's Lily Leno just tried to put it into a spot. Here's Tyler Myers, slides it across. Sekera fakes the shot. Back to Myers. This time his shot gloved down by Anderson. Gloves it, holds it. With Luke Adam, the other Newfoundlander on the ice tonight. You've got Colin Greening and Luke Adam from Newfoundland as they work on Jerry Townham, the Senators athletic therapist.
Jerry
works on the mouth of
does
Karlsson.
a great job as usual, and I'm wrong. It obviously didn't hit him in the visor, as it goes right up his stick, right into his teeth. And he is still on the bench, but getting repairs at the moment.
Dogovan sends it through center, trying to connect with Chris Neal. Here's Sekera now. Back in his own zone. Myers bobbles the puck. Some good poise. Sends it ahead for Pominville. Shovels it down inside the zone. Puck is played off the board. Here's Myers down from point. Sends it in front. Puck is deflected before it gets to the net. Zach Smith. Swarmed by 2. Gets it to Phillips, and he finds the open man. Neal can't get out as he gets jammed right away. Phillips snaps it hard along the boards. And we're going to get a whistle here and a penalty call behind the play. Well, coming up tomorrow night, watch Battle of the Blades with guest judge Christopher Dean. Then Cover Me Canada with guest judge Johnny Reed starting tomorrow night at 8 on CBC.
penalty box is going to be Sergei Gonchar for holding. As we look at the replay on a low play down low, he gives the puck away, and then because of that ends up getting caught holding on Pominville, and the Buffalo Sabres with the 14th best power play go to work. But remember, they can be very susceptible shorthanded because they just have one player back and they use the umbrella. And they look for one-timers on the half boards, and they're very effective at it. However, they do gamble a little bit on their power play.
Saunders' penalty kill has given up 17 goals so far this year, and 10 of them have come at home. Long shot from Ehrhoff, deflected in front, bouncing puck. Adam can't get it to go. 4 swipes at it, couldn't find it.
Good fight there by Anderson to stay with that rebound.
The puck is lobbed back out and down by Kuba. As Luke Adam just could not get it to settle down for him. Graniani back to the line. Carries it in, but offside the call as he weaved at the line, and that drew 2 offside, so the faceoff comes back outside the Ottawa zone.
And watch Anderson here just stay with this puck. As the Sabres are good at getting pucks through. Ehrhoff, one of the better players in the league at doing that. A redirect in front, and an excellent save, not once but twice on Boys, who was on the doorstep.
Ehrhoff has 7 points this year. 2 of them are power play assists.
And check that, that was Luke Adam.
Off the boards, puck is cleared back down ice by Phillips, off the draw.
My glasses on.
Back up ice they come. Myers drops it. Derek Roy through the middle, gets it down to the line and in. Boys. His pass goes off the stick of Brian Lee up into the mesh. We're going to face off to the right of Craig Adams. Well, to make that Anderson. A change in Buffalo this year. Butler, Connolly, Greer, Lalime, Montador, Niedermeyer all gone. Ehrhoff, Lino, Regier, Trop all new.
I'm going to say you saw Smith there barking out instructions of where he wanted his players on the faceoff. He scrambles the draw and loses it, and Buffalo gets possession.
Chance down low, centering pass goes off the skate of Conrad as it was intended for Pominville. Now Myers moves in, drops it back. Puck is stolen away, cleared by Smith, but not out. Here's Myers now. Back to the point. Derek Roy slips it across. Pominville in front. Back across Myers. Throws it low. They move it around. Quick shot knocked down by Cowan, and the puck is cleared by Kuba.
Big block there. That might have saved a goal.
Well, that was one of the benefits of having a 6'4" and a 6'5" guy out there on the penalty kill. They take up a lot of space. To the line and in. Here's Boyce. Can't get in cleanly. Ottawa shorthanded, and Dogman snaps it in. Shorthanded. Winchester hits the post.
That's 2 shorthanded chances now in the game for the Ottawa Senators. Yes, here is another one, maybe.
Dogman, just as Gonchar came out of the box. Now he loses the puck, and Phillips back to retrieve it. Dogman to the line, drops it for Spezza. Spezza moves in, his shot deflected, bounce pass. Dogman throws his head back. He thought he should have had that. Play happened so quickly, though. The bounce came back so fast. Lee to the wing. Here's McCulloch again in full stride. His shot right on. Enroth swallows it and holds it. Still a 1-0 Ottawa lead on Hockey Night in Canada.
Shot block. He may have saved a goal here as he gets his big toe on the puck on a chance by Brad Boyce there. I think he may have the shot blockers on there. It looked like it hit him in the laces, and he seems to be okay. Shorthanded, a second good shorthanded chance of the hockey game. Winchester rattles it off the post, and moments later, and there's another look at that breakaway chance, and then Dogovan's a moment later goes to the net. Spezza throws it to the net and off the backboards, and oh, he just somehow missed the open short side.
On the stick and off the stick in a fraction of a second. Look at the face-off to the right of the Buffalo goal.
Dogovan's had a big goal and then was sent down the next day. And then came right back up for his role in penalty killing primarily. He's done a better job as the Senators have been better in that area the last few games.
sent down because he had pre-existing. Here's McCulloch with a shot, and that's knocked down in front. Pre-existing appointment for dental surgery. So once the removal of the wisdom teeth was completed and he was healed, they brought him right back up again because he had a pretty good run before he went down.
Sure did, and the Senators have now in their last 4 games before tonight killed 15 of 19, which is much better.
McCulloch cuts back, waits, Spezza couldn't get the shot to go. There's a break for the Sabres. Down to the line, Gostad goes to the net. The drop pass to Leopold doesn't connect as Carlson breaks that up. This drop sends the puck in front. Can't get it to the net, and again back out to center. Here comes Nick Foligno. Chips it in, goes to chase it as he tries to get around Grignani. They go to the boards together. Butler backhands it in behind the net. Foligno gets by Leopold, back to the point. There's a shot tipped in front, off the post again. This time to Costa with the redirect that hits the post. A little delay at the point by Gonchar got everybody frozen. That gave DaCosta a great chance. Costa puts it back in behind the net. Grignani now slows things down. Coming into this game, he's been averaging about 16 minutes a game. If this continues, he's going to be more than that tonight. He's been on the ice a lot. Gonchar banks it up the boards. Pominville knocks it down. And it's back in front again. And able to get a shot through is Adams. Here's Goggins to the line. Slides the line. Couldn't get by his man, and Butler got hung up. Tyler Myers picks it up. Myers with a steal moving in. Myers curls back now. Along the boards. Sweeps the puck to the corner. Drew Stafford in the corner. Feeds the point. Sekera sends it through for a tip. It's low and wide off the boards. Goggins gets there. Can't chop it by Myers. Myers draws it out of the crowd. Back along the boards. Is dropped to the corner. Stafford sends it in. It's deflected away by Anderson. Long low shot. Scores! Redirected in front by Derek Roy.
Senators have been running around with their neutral zone turnovers a little more in this period, starting to give Buffalo a little more life. And we mentioned and talked about Derek Roy earlier in the first period, how he's had a bit of a slow start. Well, he was good last night, and he gets the Sabres on the board here tonight. As the puck will go back to the point, nobody gets out in time in the shooting lanes, and then Derek Roy cuts right through the crease and just redirects this blast past Anderson, who didn't have a chance at all on that play. And you can see the reaction from Roy, who has been struggling.
Well, a coupling struggling guys. Billy Leno's shot. I'm sure he's going to get the first assist on that. He has no points in 6 games, so he'll be happy with that helper. We're now looking down inside the Buffalo end to retake the lead. On the boards. Winchester trying to dig it out as Ellis put him to the ice. Filatov in there, back to the point it comes. Brian Lee with a shot, that's knocked down. Rob now to second. Puck is shoveled in by Ellis. Cowan goes back to chase it. On the boards, holds up his man. Condra comes down to help. Shovels the puck ahead. Cowan just trying to slap at it to get it out behind Cody McCormick. Can't get it out. Ellis. Puck trickles to the net. Anderson covers up and holds on. We're tied at 1 in period 2 on Hockey Night in Canada.
The Ottawa Senators are a little bit tired here, and they lose it at the offensive blue line. And the Sabres counterattack. They get one forward off, but that's all they get off. And now the Buffalo Sabres counterattack. There's no depth to the attack for the Senators, and then Phillips doesn't get it out right at the blue line, and that causes all the problems in a tired group now for the Ottawa Senators. They're hemmed in their zone. This is the same sequence in the zone, and then Derek Roy gets the goal. Those little things that cost you during the course of a hockey game.
And that goal, a slump buster for that whole line. Roy with the goal, Leno and Stafford with the assists on it. For Leno, his first point in 7 games. For Roy, his second point in 8, and for Stafford, his second point in 8. Goggins gets back up, puck to the corner. Centering pass, looking to try and get the puck to McCulloch. Couldn't connect. McCulloch Back in his own zone to pick it up. Slides by as Thomas Vanek runs into Anderson and knocks the net off its moorings.
It happened on Hockey Night, presented by McDonald's. Vote for your favorite moments online and relive them every Saturday night.
Local product, Derek Roy always has friends and family in the building when he comes back to Ottawa.
Well, it goes back into his own zone. And it's funny how that net sometimes comes off accidentally on purpose by the goalie, isn't it? I never did that.
No. Butler with a steal. Sends a shot in. And Enroth covers and holds on. That little bump, though, of Anderson may cause some people a bit of angst in this building. Last night against Montreal, Anderson received contact 4 times in that game and actually was knocked down by Max Pacioretty, and there was no penalty on that call, and that enraged the Ottawa Senators bench.
Paul McLean was very concerned after the game about the amount of times his goalie got knocked by the Montreal Canadiens. James Reimer was hit and is still out.
And who hit him, Greg?
Playing against the Montreal Canadiens. I'm not trying to say anything, but hey.
Well, every coach tells his players he wants them to go to the net, and some guys go to the net harder than others, and some are more and some are less concerned about making contact.
By the way, Colin Greening is not on the bench. We're going to show you why in the next sequence here if we can.
Turnaround shot from Derby, gets a second chance. Puck is loose in front. They score! Another scramble in the Ottawa crease, and the Sabres have taken the lead.
Well, we can't. Not for a bit, because we got a goal. And the Buffalo Sabres work the low play really well. And when they do that, they overload the front of the net. Leopold keeps the puck in. He'll throw it down low. A little cycle down low by the Buffalo Sabres. And Gerby here wins the battle on DaCosta. Stays with the puck. 2 little guys. The littlest guy wins. Gerby goes to net, and Leopold comes all the way from the blue line into the slot after he knows that his team's getting good pressure down low, and whacks it right out of the air and beats Craig Anderson.
So Leopold will get his 2nd goal of the season.
And without Peter Regan in the lineup right now, Paul McLean has to rely on a rookie like DaCosta to do the job. And he's not very big, and he may not be NHL ready yet, and he loses the battle to Gerby there, who's not very big either. And with Reagan and Alfredson out, it really presents some problems for the coach in terms of secondary scoring in this lineup, as he's getting most of the production on the power play or on 5-on-5 situations from his big line right now.
Offside the call as Derek Roy handles it up the line with Stafford already inside the zone.
And as promised, Greening not on the bench. So we'll show you why here earlier in the period. He gets run into the boards right there. And then goes to the bench very slowly as Gosted, who's a one big man, 6'5", 212 pounds, gives him a pretty good ride.
Lead pass for Smith just out of his reach. Here's Ehrhoff trying to get away from Zach Smith. Ranieri taken down back of the net. Neal steals the puck and tries to swing it to the net. Carlson comes down the wall and sends the puck in. It goes off the glass. Neal again swings it in, and Enroth makes the save. Accidental at that, but still a save. Stafford has a pop over his stick. Derek Roy shovels it to the front of the net. Knocked down though by Kuba on the way there. Turning with it. Stafford goes to the net, waiting for the puck. Leno trying to keep the puck in. Derek Roy is up high, waiting as well. Otero works it down the wall. Billy Leno goes cross ice. There's a shot from Ehrhoff. Save is made by Anderson. Centering pass knocked down by Zach Smith. He's out to center with it. Feeds the puck ahead. Bad change. Gives Condra a chance. Scores! Breakaway goal for Eric Condra.
What was Christian Ehrhoff thinking? Wow! And a great shot by Condra. Christian Ehrhoff takes off And Myers is nowhere near the play trying to get back into it. And for the second time on a breakaway, Senators go 5-hole. And Condor with good patience here, all of a sudden he finds himself wide open because of a horrific change by the Buffalo Sabres. And he makes no mistake.
We are tied at 2 here in period 2 now. And it appears, Greg, that fatigue may have played a part in both the second goals here. Ottawa getting trapped in their own zone and Buffalo trying to change because of fatigue, because that put Myers in an impossible situation.
You can't change when the opposition has the puck on their stick.
Here's Sekera. Back in front again. Spezza gets hooked up. Enroth makes the save. Eric Condra gets his first goal of the year and ties this game at 2 here on Hockey Night in Canada.
Under with an excellent shot, but he gets a bit of a break here as the Buffalo Sabres' Ehrhoff makes a horrific change. They shoot the puck. Now, if you can just stop it right there. Look at Ehrhoff. There he's got his arm up. He's got his back to the play. The Ottawa Senators have possession. Tyler Myers, no chance to try and catch Condra there, and he makes no mistake to tie this game up.
Tyler Myers was doomed before he actually got a skate on the ice. So we're tied at 2. Spezza will take the draw, wins the draw, and it comes outside the line.
A good example of why those plus-minuses sometimes are hogwash.
Yeah, Ehrhoff wasn't on the ice, so yeah, he wouldn't get a minus for that. McCulloch carries it low. Butler goes to the front of the net. Can't get a stick on it. Comes to the side of the net. Enroth gloves it, holds it, and now discontent begins.
And McCulloch gets a little animated. Butler at the moment is up on the top line. A skilled player, should be a top 6 player, and that's why Paul McLean has put him up with the big boys, even though he doesn't do the same thing in terms of size and presence that Greening does.
Well, getting a bit thin down that right side, Greg, with Alfredson out, now Greening out.
And don't forget Peter Regan. I think that's a big, even though he didn't have a great year last year, he had a pretty good camp in the second line center. What's he got, another month yet, Dean, with a shoulder?
Well,
they say,
they believe, they hope. Back to the point off the draw. Carlson winds, fires. Enroth makes the save, and he holds on. Probably the biggest thing is not even so much the age, Greg. It's the fact that, you know, as you mentioned, DaCosta's kind of been moved up to second line center status just because there's a spot there. He's got, coming into this game, 18 games of NHL experience. That's tough.
You know, he should probably be in the American Hockey League learning his craft at the moment. As skilled as he is.
On the board, Zach Smith can't scrape it. And he goes to the other side. Condra gets in there to lean on Ehrhoff. Neal is upended in the corner as the Sabres get the puck ahead. Here's Drew Stafford down the wing. Zach Smith won't let him turn the corner. Anderson knocked the puck down but couldn't control it and seal it off, so Kuba just flips it back out to center. And gets it across and Ehrhoff. Out of the line and in. Ehrhoff dumps it, goes to the net himself. Now heads back to the point to cover. Sabres can't get anything going in the Ottawa end. Billy Leno couldn't get it to the net. Now has to chase Erik Karlsson. Karlsson to center, snaps it, cross ice. Around the boards, up the other side, centering pass. Dogovins drops it. Quick shot by Winchester, and that hit Enroth in the chest.
Both goalies have been very solid in this game in terms of their positional play.
Vanek trying to pull by Karlsson. Anderson makes the save though. Karlsson along the boards. Filatov too slow in making his turn and didn't see the pressure coming. Couldn't get it out. Bounce to the corner. Here's Jared Cowan now. Slips the puck ahead. Winchester. Back through the middle. Karlsson ahead to Dogovins. Dogovins drops it. Karlsson. Swing and a miss as he breaks his stick. He's unaware the stick is broken. Now he drops it. Filatov goes to give him a stick, but he Heads off the ice. Long lead pass for Dogovins. Goes off the heel of a stick. Icing waved off, but they can't get a rush out of it. Back up ice now. Leopold to the line. Coming across. The hit came from Cowan as he put the body of the boys, but the puck was already gone. Back of the net. Anderson with the paddle down. Grabs the puck. Drops the stick. And now again more discussions in behind the Ottawa goal. Well, Wednesday night, don't miss an all-new Dragon's Den. Then Merlin discovers Morgan's dangerous intentions on Camelot. Wednesday night starting at 8 on CBC.
A pretty even period for the most part. Both teams have made a couple of big mistakes that have cost some goals. As you mentioned, Dean, tired players on the ice with bad selection of where to place pucks or a bad change. Other than that, a pretty good game going. The goalie's been excellent.
Costa wins that draw. Cowan tied up right away. Couldn't move the puck. Now a quick turn back from Boy. Decides to send it in front. Flipped away though by Brian Lee out to center. Here's Condra to the line with Foligno. Foligno turns back away from Regier. Puts the puck in behind the net. Condra along the boards. Back to the point. Down. Throws it back to the corner again. Here just went flying at Condra. Side of the net. Puck comes free. Gostad clears it away and the Sabres get it out. Here's Boyes leaving it to center. Gostad to the line. Snaps the puck ahead. It's a long shot knocked down on the way to the net as Gruby couldn't get it through. Ottawa breaks it back the other way. Neal to Foligno. Foligno skips the puck to the corner. Neal back to the net. Foligno back in front again. Spezza with a shot. Healed the puck and it went high. Spezza with a wraparound chance. Enroth paddle down. Makes the save. Quick whistle saves the Sabres as the puck came free, but the referee had lost sight of the puck.
And the veteran official saying, Jason, he put his hand on it just enough time. And Stephen walked him as a veteran guy who likes to have fun on the ice. And I think we've lost that a little bit in the officials' profession. They become way too serious, and I like to see a referee explain himself and have a little fun doing it. Look at Cowan get caught here, but excellent defensive positioning there by the Ottawa Senators to Costa. And that ends up being a 2-on-2, and then the Senators counter, and that's what caused the chance.
Stafford and McCulloch tied up just outside the line, and Stafford went down, lost his helmet. And his anger level also went up a notch or two. Here's Stafford, old school, no hat. Trying to scamper in around Carlson. Carlson uses the speed just to catch up, but Stafford nearly ran himself into the back of the net. Puck skips back out to the neutral zone. And here's Sekera. Gets it back to Derek Roy. Flips it inside the line. Anderson comes out to play it, but Carlson draws it away from the front of the net just in time. Now he clears it up, but it hits a stick on the way out. Sabres just dump it back in. Ellis knocks it down in the corner. Carlson takes it from him as Troop takes a run at Carlson. Carlson gives him a hack in the legs. In this final minute of period number 2. Off the boards, Carlson gets it back out. Ehrhoff fires it back in with men still trapped, and Ehrhoff and Spezza have some words just outside the line.
And Stafford loses his helmet, and you know, I think in this day and age, if you lose your helmet, you should have to get off the ice, because just players aren't used to it anymore, and the way they hit and the speed of the game, you're taking a risk. There's no doubt about it.
49 seconds to go in the period. 3 of the 4 goals scored in this game came here in period number 2. Puck comes to the front of the net and Anderson covers up. It's Thomas Vanek now. He's shoved in front of the net, turns around and realizes it's Chris Neal who shoved him, so didn't bother going after a little bit of pushing and shoving after the fact.
If you're a Maple Leaf fan, it's 5-0 for the Bruins in Toronto, and Taylor Seguin, 3 goals.
One of them was a high tip that they had to review, and it was obviously deemed to be a good goal.
Leaf fans won't like that.
Goncho off the boards, tried to tip it ahead to Zach Smith. Here's Condra now. Flips the puck inside the line, tries to fight his way to the corner. Ehrhoff first in, and Neal puts him into the boards with vigor. Smith sends the puck in front. It hits a leg, and Pominville now just wants it out. Goes wide side down to the line. Adam drops it back, but it's picked up and back the other way. Here's Zach Smith. Condra trying to catch up. Phillips the trailer. Phillips moves in. Save is made by Enroth. Gets a pad on that shot from Phillips.
Oh, and going the other way. That was a difficult save and a beaut.
Senators with 2 good chances late, but it's tied at 2 at the end of 40 minutes here at Scotiabank Place. The regular Saturday crew is in studio waiting to discuss the news and notes, topics of discussion from around the NHL coming up on Hot Stove, presented by Kraft Hockeyville. Tied at 2 at the end of 2 here on Hockey Night in Canada.
Are tied at 2 at Scotiabank Place in Ottawa. And good news for the Ottawa Senators is Greening is back after being injured in the second period of play, and in a 2-2 hockey game and the Senators needing some scoring here, the big line is back intact.
So as we get set to go into period number 3, this one is a coin toss right now, tied at 2. And both these teams, as mentioned off the top, both have been okay. Ottawa 6 wins in their last 10. Buffalo 5 wins in their last 10. Haven't been great, haven't been bad, and both striving to get closer to great. Off the draw. Buffalo controls. Nathan Kirby puts the puck in deep. Kuba goes together. The yin and the yang of it, the Ottawa Senators are the highest scoring third period team in the NHL. They have also given up the most third period goals in the NHL. So they have both sides of it covered. Here's Greening. Back to the net for Spezza. Spezza back in front again. Quick shot from McCulloch. Just misses. Back to center. Puck is dumped in by Brad Boyes. And everybody peels off on a change. Erik Karlsson now. Through the middle. Zach Smith to the line. Wines fires. That goes off the stick of Sekera and up into the mesh. Well, tomorrow, late night at 30 minutes past midnight, championship figure skating on CPZ presents Grand Prix China from Shanghai. Our skating program will feature the ladies and dance-free programs. Zach Smith in the face-off circle. Up against Luke Adams. Scramble draw. Sabres come out with a 3-on-2 break out of it. Myers goes to the wing. Pominville finds the late man. Vanek can't find the handle on it, though. Back to the line it comes. Sekera can't hold it in, but he does control the puck. Gets it across to Adam, and Adam now layers it out to center. Pominville takes it, a no-look receive on the backhand. Dogovins clears it back out to center. Here's Tyler Myers now. They one-touch it into the zone. Here's Pominville. Gonchar wraps him up. DeCosta takes the puck. Gets it back out to center. Tips it down to the line as he's taken down on the way into the zone. Sekera with it now. Fires it back out to center. Left it down to the Ottawa line. Cuba quickly back to center. Here comes Foligno. Takes it wide. Breaks on to try and elude Ehrhoff. Back to the net. Here's DeCosta. DeCosta sends it in front, but it lands up on a Buffalo stick. Here's Stafford back out to center. Butler reaching in. He goes down. Reno tries to send it in front. It pinballs off a couple of legs. DeCosta drops it back. Here's Karlsson. It's knocked down in the neutral zone and now shoveled down inside the Buffalo end. Stolen away by Spezza. Tried to feed McCulloch. Greening comes through. He can't get a shot in. Puck drifts all the way back down ice. Cowan. Head to McCulloch. McCulloch speeds into the zone. Cuts in. Chops at the puck. It's loose. Still trickling. Bouncing. Enroth is down. They can't get it to the front of the net. Here's Spezza. Wheels it back to the point, but the pass too hot for Brian Lee to handle. Turns around. Drives it back in. Robin Regeer, the former Flame. Part of that deal was to include Alish Kodalit, the former Sabre, back again. Got to the Buffalo camp. They were going to send him down to Rochester. He actually showed up in Rochester, then changed his mind and left, and is now playing back in the Czech Republic. Sabres still own his NHL rights. No telling whether he'll ever come back to the NHL.
We know that they're too worried about it, to be honest.
I don't think anybody's losing sleep.
No.
Here's the giveaway. Condra holds it in. Quick shot. Enroth makes the save on Winchester. Winchester's had a couple of great chances tonight, including hitting the post. Boyes draws it off the boards, taps the puck ahead. Sekera out to center with it. Goes to the wing. Boyes bad angle. His shot misses. Round the boards, back out to center. And Myers gliding back to his own end to get it. Myers, his 3-year entry-level contract expires at the end of this year, and they've already signed the extension. That is going to be a big one. DaCosta into the zone. Can't go anywhere. He's already signed a 7-year, $38.5 million extension, which kicks in next year. Adam into the zone. Vanek can't get the puck to settle down. It's a front-loaded contract, so that means that he'll get the biggest chunk of that salary. Penalty call is on the way against Vanek as he hacks Karlsson to the ice. Just to finish that story, Myers will make $875 this year as his base salary. Next year he'll make $12 million. That's a 22-year-old.
Not bad. Thomas Vanek here gets caught as Karlsson, with that terrific skating ability, skates out of the zone. He actually leans into Vanek a little bit and draws the penalty and sells it even more, and tripping will be the call. A look at Myers, who has had an okay night. That's about it.
22 years old next year. 12 million, 6 million, 5 million, 5 million, 4, 3.5, 3. That's the 7-year, $38.5 million deal. Here's Gonchar, drops it back. Spezza winds, fires, it's blocked, loose puck. Trickled towards the net. Regier has been hurt, blocking that shot, clears it out, and now lumbers back to the Buffalo bench.
Yeah, he got it right in the hand, and you can see he's favoring his left hand there.
Gonchar to the line. McCulloch in, but loses the puck. It's scooped back down ice. Anderson thinks about it, then makes the choice. Comes out, clears the puck. Spezza now down to the line, tries to go wide, but front of the net. McCulloch reaching for it, couldn't get it to go. Derek Roy now out to center. Short-handed, drops it. Sekera with a shot. Goes off the leg of Gonchar, bounces to the corner. Greening has it slapped off his stick, and the Sabres get control again. With no pressure, Myers in no hurry to play it. Will always change it. Neal puts him into the boards as he flips the puck down to the Ottawa end. Minute gone, minute to go in the Ottawa power play. Gonchar runs it around the boards. During the Ottawa 6-game winning streak, the Senators' power play was operating at 41.2%. As DaCosta thought he had held the puck in, but not.
Regier back on the ice for the next shift, but it didn't look like he was going to be after he went right out to the point and blocked this shot and ended up getting it right in the hand. Right there. Ow. On the Jason Spezza shot. See if we get a better look at it. And it had broken hand written all over it, but maybe he just got a stinger in the palm.
That's a road hockey save because it makes no sense to open up your hand like that since all the protection on the glove is on the other side of the glove. Zach Smith digs the puck out. Now he and Gostad go to the corner. Gets it back to the point. Kuba to Karlsson. Karlsson along the boards. Gets it back from Dogovan. Sends a wrister through. Just misses. Gostad gets it back to the point, but not out. Dogovans. Karlsson puts it back to the corner. Now Filatov. Back along the boards. He is bound up, and Gostad clears it out. Karlsson knocks it down. Karlsson back to the line. Sends it back to the point. Kuba winds, fires, just misses. Back to even strength. Vanek out of the box. As Regier pounds into Karlsson. Karlsson turns, fires it towards the net. Regier knocks that one down with his skate. Bounce pass ahead to Vanek. Vanek is offside though, doesn't know it. And now that he tries to play the puck, the offside whistle comes and a face-off outside the line when we return. Still tied at 2 in the third on Hockey Night in Canada.
Lindy Ruff of the Buffalo Sabres You can see how long he's been in this league, since '97, behind the Sabres bench. And a terrific coach, and I really like the way the management team along the years has kept the stability in Buffalo.
This stat comes up every year, and we keep using it because it really is kind of entertaining. There have been 163 head coaching changes in the NHL since Lindy Ruff was hired. That's a lot of peers coming and going in the time that he has been in Buffalo.
He's an excellent coach, and that goes without saying. His teams every year are competitive.
Pollock with a shot that goes off the leg of Ehrhoff. Suffice it to say, if he would have become a free agent, Spezza, there would have been plenty of teams looking. Back to the point. Hops over the stick of Kuba, back out to center. The new owner in Buffalo, Mr. Pegula, Terry Pegula, made it very clear he wanted Ruff re-signed, and that happened. Here's Neal, back the other way. Got Doggovins with him. Neal, Doggovins. Puck in his skates, couldn't get the pass back to Neal. Here's Neal. Sends it back to the net. Zach Smith over to pick it up. Smith cycles it back along the boards. Neal goes to chase it, but falls on the way there, and that gives Sekera a break out of the zone. Andre Sekera weaving down to the Ottawa line. Curls at the line, waits for help. Everybody gets into the zone. Vanek turns with it. Sekera with a shot, blocked by Doggovins, takes it in the 9th rib. Back out to center, and Myers now back to his own line for Sekera once again. Off the boards, down to the Ottawa line, handled by Gonchar. Throws it cross ice, right on the stick of Myers. Myers sends it around the boards on the other side. Sabres pick it up. Here's Vanek. Loses control. Neal gets it out to center. Plays it off the boards into the zone. Here's DaCosta. It's swept away from him by Adams. Puck loose in the neutral zone. Foligno turns to get away from Vanek. At center. Dumps the puck in deep. DaCosta around the boards, and he is hammered by Regeer. DaCosta slow to get up. Puck is free. Here's Bobby Butler. Butler cycles it back. Foligno back in front, tried to feed it to Butler. Hit a stick, though, on the way there. Gostad back up with it. Brian Lee gets a piece of him. Cowan comes across and gets the puck. His clearing attempt knocked down by Gerby. Puck is popping, skipping everywhere. Trickles to the front of the net, steered away by the long reach of Cowan.
The Senators need a change desperately here. There you go.
Butler cross corners the puck and gets them with change. Graniani around the boards, and now Leopold with it. Out to center, come the Sabres, down to the line. Quick wrister by Boyes, doesn't get through. Backhands it back to Gerby. Sends a floater in, deflected away by Anderson. Sekera fires in off the point. Sekera hits by Kuba. Taken off the puck by Carlson, but Ottawa can't get it out. Here's Sekera. Gets it to the front of the net. Intercepted there by Colin Greening. Greening gets it to Spezza. Puck is thrown down inside the zone. Enroth tips it back to his own net. Down the boards it comes. Tromp back out to center with it. Throws it through the middle. Cody McCormick chops it into the Ottawa zone. Ellis falls. Here's Tromp back to the net. Back to the corner. Doggovins gets in there first. Sweeps it ahead and Spezza. The Doggovins out to center for Neal. Neal throws the puck in. Enroth has to jump to deflect it to the corner. That's part of the 5'10" goaltender syndrome. Sabres again bring it out of their own zone, and Phillips comes across and puts Tromp to the ice right there. Now Neal comes across. One glove is dropped. Neal carries on. Out to center, lead pass down to the line. Stafford breaking in, can't get a shot away. Waits for help as Phillips tries to get on him. Puck is knocked down by Foligno. Nice move to come free with it. Neal out to center. It hits a stick lying in the neutral zone. Out to center now. Here's Brian Lee. Carries it to the line. Stood up at the line by Regeer. Back the other way. Here's Billy Leno. Gets a shot away. Kicked out by Anderson.
This game, as expected, has become a tight checking affair.
Foligno to the corner. DaCosta in front for Butler. Couldn't get a stick on it.
Both teams now not taking many chances in a 2-game with under 8 minutes to go.
Stafford. Shot, bad angle, misses, round the boards, back out to center it comes. Sekera back to chase it.
Both teams will try to keep pucks away from the middle of the ice. They'll use more of a chip and chase style of play now and try to run down pucks on the forecheck.
Karlsson back out there, and Buffalo has to be careful to watch his shot. Karlsson tied for 5th in the league in shots at 47. Only defenseman in the top 18 in that category. Tied at 2 here in the third as things start to bubble. Time now for the Hockey Night Close-Up, brought to you by Subway Restaurants.
Elan McCulloch with 8 goals in the season before tonight, and this is 9, and a beautiful little move in the first period as he walks around Tyler Myers and makes no mistake on a pretty good backhand through the goaltender there. And then we watch more of his work. Another shot on Enroth. He's really using his size and strength now to go to the net with authority. And he doesn't mind turning outside in from the outside and driving the net, and that's why he's been so successful.
Sekera runs it down the boards. Vanek tries to go across ice, and a nice defensive play by Dogovins to knock it down. Tries to lay it in for Chris Neal. On the boards, Myers slides the puck ahead. Here's Adam. Dogovins held up. He could have pasted Adam. Back to the point. Puck is held in by Adam. Puck is loose. Vanek trying to get at it. Myers back in front. Loose puck. Dogovins steers it back out to center and sweeps it down to the Buffalo end.
Well, hit Chris Phillips in the big toe. It was on its way in the net.
Sabres now. On the boards. Karlsson can't go anywhere with it. Nice to fend off Gostad. Now Kirby back to the line, knocked away by Conrad. Winchester gets it through the middle to Foligno. Foligno along the boards, trying to work around Leopold. The one-handed cutback not working. Now the Spider-Man climb over Leopold's back. He's pinned in behind the net. Maybe premature to say this, Greg, but I'll give this to you now so you can ponder it. Give me your answer later.
Yes.
Let this percolate for a while. If this should get to a shootout, does Lindy Ruff pull Enroth and put Ryan Miller in? He is 3rd all-time amongst active goalies in the shootout.
I can give you a quick answer. No.
Well, it's more entertaining, Greg, if you give it more thought than that.
You can't risk your number 1 goalie, your star goalie, going in cold off the bench. It's a nice thought statistically, but
I've thought about it for longer.
give you a little more. Give you a little more love, Dean.
A little more percolation on that.
No.
Back of the net, puck comes up front, knocked away at the side of the net by Jared Cowan. McCulloch along the boards, just trying to get it out of his own zone. Turned over, Derek Roy back in front again, and that one goes off the hand and pad of Anderson. Spezza tries to go through the middle, gives it away. Back come the Sabres. Stafford into the zone, tries to cut and drag, couldn't get around Cowan. Now to center, Neal. Sweeps the puck down inside the Buffalo end. Enroth out of the net. Puck is cleared ahead. Here's Villolino with it. Slowly to the line, carries it in. Now curls back. This is one of these slow motion entries into the zone for Buffalo. It seemed to take forever. Phillips out to center. Flipped by Dogovins, high in the air, skips it inside the Buffalo end. Kasper's Dogovins getting plenty of ice time here in the third period. The coaching staff clearly with great trust in him. Bad angle shot by McCormick, knocked down by Anderson. Sabres back on the puck again. Those Phillips dumps McCormick. Puck comes free. Zach Smith out to center. Hits the skate of Condor. That allows the counterattack to bring it back. To the corner. Phillips taken in hard by Trott, and he went down awkwardly. Side of the net. Anderson reaches back, gets the pad on it. Off the boards. Again, Ottawa can't get out cleanly. Now Gonchar will carry it up ice. Gets to center. Cross corners the puck. Here. Sweeps it to the other side. Ehrhoff pokes the puck ahead. Winchester knocked it down but didn't realize it. Pominville flips it back to the line. Kuba has to hustle as it gets by him. Here's Adam. And again, the long reach of Kuba takes away that chance.
Good stick there by Kuba after he made the initial mistake.
Ottawa turns it over again in the neutral zone, though. Pominville back with it. Kuba again forced to reach in. Now he gives the puck away. Pominville back to the point. Myers. Pominville. Pominville's shot. That's knocked down. Loose puck. Big pad save from Anderson.
He just robbed Vanek there with some nice work. Again, staying with the rebound.
Winchester dumps it in, heads off on a change. A fresh 5 out there for Ottawa now. Myers ended his shift, carries it ahead, and gets it out. 4-on-2 break. Boy's shot. Save is made by Anderson. Colin Green now steers it ahead. McCulloch trying to drag and slide it out to center, but again gives it away. Sabres pretty soon are going to become tired from all the counterattacking. Greening bounces the puck to the corner. Enrod tries to clear it out, hits a stanchion, and now the Sabres get it out to center. Lead pass too far for Nathan Gerby. Brian Lee now backhands the puck in. Foligno works the puck back to the point. Gonchar with a shot, hits a leg on the way there. DaCosta back again to Gonchar. His shot again knocked down. Leno breaks back up ice with it, goes to the wing. Stafford goes down. Puck is cleared back out. Here's Derek Roy turning in the neutral zone. Quick turns. He makes space for himself.
Derek Roy's been good tonight. He's had much more jump in his game, and he's been an offensive threat.
Leno sends it in front. No one get a stick on it. Back to the point. Here's Ehrhoff. Gets it across. Graniani back through the box. One-timer, and it goes high. Derek Roy got all of that, but missed high. To the line again and in. Here's Gonchar out to center. Trying to hit Condra on the run. Pass is too far. And icing the call with 2:05 to go in the third period.
And Anderson with perhaps his biggest save of the night here on the doorstep. Tyler Myers in a 4-on-3 situation that turns out to a good rush chance, and there is the rebound save on Thomas Vanek, who not only screens Anderson but then gets the backhand attempt. And that right pad comes shooting out on the Pominville initial shot, and then the rebound there.
Jason Spezza to take the draw. He takes 38.6% of his team's draws, and actually now it's Zach Smith in there.
And he's 13th in the league, 56%. Now Smith, as you mentioned, in the dot. And he wins it.
In the process, stick of Ellis breaks. That gives Zach Smith a one-on-one break. Nice go wide on Myers. Bobbles the puck, sends a shot around the boards. It's wide and all the way back out to center. Through the middle. Zach Smith of the line bounces by him. Myers picks it up. Safety first. Just goes off the glass and out.
Zach Smith took that draw because he's won 13, lost 4 on the game. So the coach knew that. That's why he took that very important faceoff.
He was only 50% against Montreal on what was a huge night for Spezza, Winchester, and DaCosta in the faceoff circle last night. Spezza 71%, so was Winchester. And DaCosta, his best night in the faceoff circle as an NHLer, he was 67%.
Spezza 10 and 7 in this game tonight.
Bannon flips the puck to the line as we approach the final minute of regulation time.
Last minute of play in the third period.
In the neutral zone. Spezza throws it to the line. It's knocked down by Gerby. Gerby back the other way. Foligno steals it from him. Got Butler with him. Foligno tries to feed the point, but he's knocked down. Can't make a clean pass. Puck comes outside the line. DaCosta back inside the zone. Butler cuts back. His shot. Didn't get good wood on it. His stick was slapped at the last second. Here's Gonchar. Big crowd in front. His shot deflected away by Enrod. Foligno goes into battle for it. 30 seconds to go. Gonchar holds it in. DaCosta to the corner. Foligno taken down, but DaCosta gives it back to him. Foligno with a quick cutback, trying to elude Gostad. Puck to the corner. Here's Leopold with it now. And the Sabres back to center. Puck is dumped to the line. Phillips clears it back, and we're going to get an icing call as Phillips looks to the clock and goes, oh no. 6.7 seconds to go, and that's going to go for an icing call, which means a face-off in the Ottawa end.
And you can see Chris Phillips knows he didn't like that play, but it's a tough one because he bats it out of the air. And it's pretty hard to take something off the puck when you do that. And you can see him right now saying, oh boy, we got to win this face-off. But he just takes the puck here and just swings at it and takes too big a swing. And now we're going to get a timeout here by Ottawa to make sure that their face-off alignment is intact, and Chris Phillips gets a bit of a rest.
All of them get a bit of a rest. That whole line, that whole five-man unit was out there for a long time.
And let's recap the goals in tonight's game. The Ottawa Senators get on the board first in an unbelievable individual highlight reel effort by McCulloch to make it 1-0. And then the Buffalo Sabres answer here in a shot from the point that's redirected by Roy, and that ties the game up. And then some good low play by Gerby as he moves the puck in front of the net, and Leopold jumps in to give the Sabres a lead. And then a goal where Condra was left wide open after a brutal change by the Buffalo Sabres. Christian Ehrhoff tied the game up, and that's where we are with 6.7 seconds to go. Both goalies have been solid in this game.
It's a big face-off here, and DaCosta's the man who has to take it for the Ottawa Senators. And Gostad, who is top 10 in the league, is the man Lindy Ruff sends out, and he wins it back to the point. Myers throws it low back through the box. They couldn't get a connection. Back to the net. Gostad can't get it to the front of the net as time expires. And these two old friends are headed to overtime. Tied at 2 at the end of regulation time. Extra hockey begins when we come back to Hockey Night in Canada from Scotiabank Place in the nation's capital. Ottawa and Buffalo tied at 2 at the end of regulation time, and they are headed to overtime for the 28th time. Ottawa has not played any team in overtime more than they have played the Buffalo Sabres. Senators' lifetime against Buffalo in overtime, 6-11-10. 18 of those games have occurred in Ottawa, and the Senators are 4-7-7 against the Sabres. So the streak continues. You can now make it 12 of the last 13 games between these two teams will be decided by 2 goals or less, and this will be one of those games. I'd like to welcome everybody who's been enjoying the Winnipeg, New Jersey game. And I can tell you this one, the only goal of the first period was Milan McCulloch, but then 3 goals came in the second. Roy and Leopold for Buffalo and Eric Condra for the Ottawa Senators. All 4 goals in this game coming at even strength. No scoring in the third, and we end up here.
And in 4-on-4 situations this season, Ottawa has outscored their opponent 2-0, where the Buffalo Sabres have been outscored 2-1. So I don't know if that means anything. Derek Roy's had a good game tonight for the Buffalo Sabres. And McCulloch, who's on the ice, has been terrific for the Senators.
4-on-4, sudden victory overtime. Stafford shovels it in front. It trickles through the crease. Here's Sekera in from the point. Can't get to the puck. McCulloch back the other way. Carlson jumps in. Carlson waiting for the pass. McCulloch goes high, misses high. Spezza, he gets a shot away. Blocked by Sekera. Now Stafford tries to break it out. He's tied up, but Derek Roy continues on. Roy leaves down to the line. Stafford along the boards. Falls, tips it back though. The Sabres have to come outside the zone. Harrelson clears it, breaks his stick, but can't get off the ice. Now he does get back to the bench as the puck is dumped back down to the other end.
He almost injured himself with that when he leaned on it so hard and the stick exploded on him.
I'd like to welcome everybody joining us from the Toronto-Boston game. 3:50 to go in overtime. 2-2 Sabres Senators. Pominville cross ice into the zone. Vanek shot blocked by Foligno, and it goes up and out of play.
Carlson shaking his head. Are you kidding? He says as he tries to go right up the middle with a tape-to-tape pass, leans on it, and we know how hard he snaps the puck. He really passes extremely hard, and he falls over and his stick just explodes on him, and he's still shaking his head over it. You can see his dental work there as he took a puck earlier in the game right in the teeth.
So he's busted 2 sticks in the middle of play tonight and lost a tooth. I suppose he won't care about any of that if his team can win this game. Off the draw, drifting shot, and Anderson makes the save with Vanek parking his lap.
Ehrhoff is very good at changing the angle on the points to make sure he gets pucks through. And he gets this puck through very well. And good work by Anderson to find the puck through traffic. This time look for him to pass off. But the Sabres do not win the draw.
Gonchar runs it back of his own net. Here's Chris Phillips now. Phillips tries to drop it back, bobbles the puck. Pominville with the steal. Phillips ties him up. Zach Smith handles the puck. Tries to shovel it to the corner, not deep enough. Vanek to the side of the net. He loses control. Now Gonchar gets wrapped up, pins his man. Zach Smith turns back. Control, a difficult thing to achieve right now in the Ottawa end. Manny back in the neutral zone, picks it up. Curls to finish the change, and now goes wide to Ehrhoff. Ehrhoff down to the line. Ehrhoff sends a shot in, misses low, round the boards. Here's Regier to hold it in. His shot deflects off to the corner. Carlson gets wrapped up on his way to the puck. Finally finds the puck. And now out to center. Flips the puck ahead into the zone. Winchester just out of his reach. Centers the puck for Filatov. Couldn't get a stick on it.
This Carlson kid's got some creativity, doesn't he? He just tries the high flipper that almost worked.
Puck is tipped to the corner by Filatov. Billy Lino along the boards, kicks it out. Here's Boyes. Sends it back to the point. Leopold tries to go back with it to the line and out. Turning in his own zone, Lino back to the line for Boyes. Boyes along the boards, has nowhere to go, swings it low to the corner. Now Lino tries to cut back on Kuba. Puck hops to the front of the net. Carlson knocks it down, weaves his way out to center. Ahead, McCulloch to Spezza. Spezza makes a move at the line to the corner. McCulloch back up high. Spezza has it hop off his stick, loses the puck. Phillips comes across and takes it away from Drew Stafford. Jason Spezza now to center with it. Spezza down to the Buffalo line, ranges in, curls it back, looks for help, swoops to the front. McCulloch swing and a miss on the first shot. Back along the boards. Gonchar can't hold it in. It trickles back out to center. Here's Phillips now. Back to Gonchar. Back pass to Spezza. End of the shift for him. Down to the line and offside the call as Phillips jumping in. Offside the call.
Erik Karlsson, he is so skilled and does so many little things. Look at that little pickup with his left foot up to his stick, and he winds and weaves through the neutral zone. And how about this planned flipper? He knows Winchester is going, and oh, that just almost was a perfect pass completion to Winchester, who would have been in as he was behind the defense.
Right now the plays are pretty. The smile is not. Losing that tooth earlier in the game. That came off the stick of Derek Roy and hit him right in the mouth. He'll be in the dentist chair tomorrow. Here's Philip Kuba now to center. Lead pass, Kasper Dogovins inside the line, turns back to Kuba. In front for Foligno, but it hits a leg on the way there. Puck bounces up high into the mesh. And a faceoff.
Been a very tight checking game, as there have been limited chances by both sides, and the goalies have been sharp and steady when the defensive breakdowns have occurred. And now we got a face-off to the right of Enroth. Jason Spezza has been pretty good on the draws tonight.
Spezza in the circle up against Gostad once again. Spezza wins it clean. Kuba with a shot right on, and Enroth makes the save.
Spezza 11-7 on the draws tonight, and he wins one against one of the better players in the league, Gostad, who's 9-6, pretty even, and he snaps one right back for a good chance.
Gostad wins that draw. Want to welcome the Montreal, New York viewers to this game. Tied at 2. Only 40 seconds remaining in overtime as the Sabres and Senators go at it. Here's Spezza. Drops it back for Philip Kuba to the line and in. McCulloch tried to give it back to him. Got the whole country joining us now as we head into the final stages of overtime. Here's Tyler Myers to the line. Myers carries it deep, and it goes to the front of the net. Up along the boards, Billy Lino sweeps it back to the point. Here's Regeer, got a man in front. Sends a wrister and redirected. Anderson makes the save. Harrison now tries to turn away from Lino. Up comes free in behind the net. Lino, Vanek tries to get his stick free. Back to the point. Myers can't get a shot away, and we are headed to the shootout.
Vanek got one in the chops there from Anderson. He's complaining, and Vanek's been robbed twice by Anderson tight in front of the crease in this third period.
They will select the shooters, and they will get to shoot when we come back to hockey. Welcome back as we get set for the shootout. The dry scrape is done, and Paul McLean is elected to have his shooter shoot first, and he is elected to go with Milan McCulloch. Here comes McCulloch straight in on Enroth. McCulloch goes to the forehand, scores!
McCulloch has scored on a highlight reel breakaway earlier in this game, and he gives the Senators the first shootout goal. And he went 5-hole during the game. He goes 5-hole again on Enroth. There.
Senators have been in 3 shootouts this year, won all 3 of them, and in those games, Anderson has only given up 1 shootout goal. Here comes Thomas Vanek. Vanek weaving his way in. Vanek winds, fires, scores!
He showed you Vanek with his great chance at the end of the period. He's actually had 2 great chances on Anderson late in the game. And this time, after Anderson gave him a stick right in the mouth in the dying seconds of the game, gets back at the goalie and ties the shootout up so far.
Jason Spezza is set to shoot. With the youth of this Ottawa team, they actually only have 6 players who've been in a shootout.
High over the glove normally.
Spezza scores!
He's always a shooter. He normally goes high over the glove with the toe curve. This time he goes just over the pad.
No shocker here. Poised to shoot. 6th amongst active players in the NHL lifetime in the shootout. 24 for 52. Boys, head fake, scores!
Boy, we're having some fun in this one. Changes his speed, and backs the goalie up, and gives the proper angle to Boys to snap it in.
Carlson has been in 4 shootout situations in his career and scored. This is his 4th. He scored 1 of his 3 chances. Carlson in front. Save is made as Enroth gets the pad down.
And the 2 best friends go against each other, and the goalie wins. I wonder how many times Carlson has shot on his buddy Enroth. And he shakes his head going to the bench, and it was almost like Enroth knew what his old friend was going to do as he makes a great save.
Smallest player on the ice now has a chance to score the biggest goal. Here's 5'5" Nathan Gerby with a chance to win this game. Gerby slow coming in on the forehand, delays, loses the puck, and doesn't really get a shot away. We are going to the extra shooters.
That's always embarrassing. As Gerby looks up for that split second and outthinks himself and doesn't really get a chance.
7th shooter, Nick Foligno. Enroth out to challenge. Foligno forehand misses.
Foligno going 5-hole. This time Enroth got his stick in the way. The pressure goes back on Craig Anderson.
Jason Pominville comes over the boards. 9 of 26 in his career. Slowly and he comes. Takes the wide angle. Pominville. His shot off the post. The Senators still have life as we go to shooter number 9.
He had him beat. But Anderson got a little help. That little change of angle, little speed, quick release off the post.
Shooter number 9 is Kaspers Daugavins. Daugavins straight in and then rough delays. Backhander, can't get it to go.
You know, this Enroth is a battler. Probably the smallest goalie in the league at 5'10", but all he does is win.
Stafford now 10 of 29. Goes to the forehand. His shot. Anderson makes the save. Pinches it and holds on.
To the crowd's delight. Stafford with a big goal last night against the Calgary Flames where he wired one. He's normally a shooter. He tries 5-hole. Anderson just squeezes in time.
Bobby Butler with his first NHL shootout attempt.
Let's go right through the whole lineup tonight. Why not?
We may. We may. Butler waiting for the signal. He gets it. Enroth getting some shade inside the net. Here comes Butler. On the forehand, and the save is made by Enroth. Shooter 12.
I'm surprised it's taken this long for Derek Roy to come over the benches. For me, he's been the best Sabre on the ice tonight.
But traditionally not a great shootout guy. 8 of 24 in his career. We'll see what he does now. He's got a chance to win it. Derek Roy cuts it, scores! Derek Roy in his hometown wins it for his Buffalo Sabres.
And he was the best player on his team tonight. He already scored a tip-in goal. And as I mentioned, I was a little surprised that Derek Roy wasn't out there long before this, as he has had some difficulty with his health getting going this season, but his last 2 games have been excellent. Last night and tonight, he wins it for the Buffalo Sabres in a shootout. Changes the angle, snaps it right over the glove of Anderson to give the Sabres the victory.
Buffalo Sabres notched their 8th victory of the season and the first against their division rival Ottawa. These two teams will meet again just a week from now. Back to the studio. Here's Ron.